world says you work till you're 65 and then you retire and you die. I refuse to do that. I want to live my life and I don't want to die for my job. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Leslie, aka Coach Leslie. And today I just wanted to talk about just the fact that I quit my job. So in May of this year, so very recently, like less than 2 months ago, I quit my job. And it was one of the hardest things I had to do, if I'm honest, just because I have been working at this nonprofit for about 4 years, literally. And I just felt like I was dishonoring myself and I was unhappy, like super unhappy. And I know like jobs, they come with stress, but this was like a crazy amount of stress. Being the only Black woman on my team, I felt like I was constantly trying to fight to have a voice, and even when I did that, I was ignored, I was overlooked. I was in situations where, you know, I would say something and be ignored, and someone else of a different race would say the same exact thing that I said, and it would be heard. I was told I would be moved up, and then I was not. And then I was told that that was not gonna happen, even though I had worked my butt off. I stayed in this position, knowing that I wasn't happy, knowing that at some points I was being overworked, you know, I was being overworked, overlooked, and not appreciated at all. I actually think my manager did not even know what I did, and didn't even understand my job. It's like crazy now that I'm out of it to think that I could stay in a position with there was a lack of organization. Like, how could you manage me and not know fully what I do or understand the work that I do and how important it is? I would wake up, sometimes I would cry. Like my job, I would hate Mondays because it was like I was getting like this severe depression on Sunday, right? Like it was like the Sunday blues, like you get it like because you know Monday's coming. What kind of life is that, right? I was crying. I had panic attacks about work. I didn't want to have certain meetings with certain people because I did not feel safe. That's a key here. I did not feel safe to speak up about how I felt. I'm so grateful just for like my friends. And one of my best friends, she just really was just a good ear for me, and just what really kept me going through this really tough situation that I was in. But I knew for a long time that a 9-to-5 job was just not for me. Like working for the man is not for me. And for anybody that is watching this video that works in a job 9-to-5 and loves it and all that, there's nothing against that. If you enjoy that lifestyle, if you enjoy that working style and it works for you and you're working in an environment that's safe, right, and conducive to you, there's nothing wrong with that, nothing. Whether you're an entrepreneur or you're not, there's nothing against that. But for me, I knew that I wasn't supposed to be working in a 9-to-5 situation. I knew I wanted to work for myself. I knew I wanted to travel. I knew I wanted to empower women, empower young girls. I wanted to sing, I wanted to act, but I was ignoring that. I was ignoring that pull on my heart that was saying, you are unhappy in this job. We're in this world, we're conditioned to believe that we need to overwork ourselves. There's this culture, right? This hustle culture where we're supposed to kill ourselves, be available at all times of the day, and that's just life. And if you don't do that, you're lazy, and that is actual crap to me. And I realized that I was literally killing myself by being so available to everybody else and not available to myself. There has to be a level of, okay, I'm working to help other people, but how can I help other people if I can't help myself? Like I'm over here having a whole channel about self-love, and yet I'm not practicing self-love in my daily life. I'm in a job that I hate. I'm taking crap, like listening to someone talk to me and disrespect me in my job on a weekly basis. where, and not feeling safe. Why would I ever want to stay in a position working over 40 hours a week in a position where I can't even speak up? The key here was that I was a slave for money. The money was the thing. And I would keep saying, I'm gonna quit in this month, but then more bills would come. And I'm like, ooh, I can't quit now. I have stuff that I need to pay for, so I'm gonna quit in another 2 months. And I'm like, ooh, I don't have enough saved. And it was like, bills ain't never gonna stop, right? Like the bills will never stop. And I felt God kind of like saying, you need to get out. And I knew it wasn't healthy because I was now having anxiety. My blood pressure was going up. I was having all types of little ailments that I'd have to go to the doctor for. And it was like I was ignoring my body. I was ignoring my spirit. I knew that God wanted me to do something else, but I was ignoring it because I needed a paycheck. I needed security. And that was what it was. I remember being so scared to quit, but then I got to this point where I was like, I'm done. And other people on my team were quitting. There was clearly a high turnover rate in general. And it was like, I gotta go. It doesn't matter anymore about the money. And I know people are like, well, what about my bills? And that's the thing. That's when it hit me. That's when God was like, it's like, do you trust? Where is your security in? Is your security in the world and people? Or is your in jobs? Or is your security in me? Do you trust that I will provide for you? And the truth is, I didn't, right? That's why I stayed so long. I was like, no, this is the security I need. And the truth is that kind of security can go security, right? We are never going to be secure in just a job and in people, right? When we oh, I'm secure in this man. I'm secure in this woman. I'm secure in what are you doing? All of those things can go away just like that. But the love of God and what God says, his words, he will provide. And I feel like we are yeah, that's nice, but faith without works is dead. What are you talking about? I feel like sometimes the works that needs to be done is trusting and listening to God. If God is telling you this is not where you're supposed to be, or he's calling you to something, you're not doing the work that he's calling you to do, and you're doing something else that is not honoring yourself, but also dishonoring God. If you think about it like that, then you'll really think, wow, what am I holding on to? To follow Jesus, it says that you have to let go, right? You have to literally die to yourself. And that made me think of having to let go of the things that we hold on to, right? I knew God didn't want me in this job. I knew it didn't feel right. I knew that I was killing myself. And it was I was looking older, y'all. I was looking older than my age. And black don't crack, but this job was making me crack, y'all. This job was making me crack, not just mentally, but physically. And it was is this worth it? I'm not even 35 years old. Why am I looking this way? And so it got to the point where it was you're either gonna quit or you're gonna die, Leslie. This job is killing you. You are losing life from this job because you are not honoring yourself and you're not honoring God. And it got to the point where the disrespect and the feeling that I felt okay, how much more I'm gonna let this rob me of my peace. My peace is worth way more than any job. And if God can deliver Jonah from a big old whale and can deliver Noah and can save, why wouldn't God provide for me? Does he not provide for the birds? You know what I'm saying? And so it was you don't really love Jesus. You don't really love God, because if you really do, you will trust him and you will do what he says. Every time I would disobey God, I would have more suffering. And look, sometimes God allows suffering. I don't think life is meant to be without suffering. I think suffering helps you grow, right? But sometimes I feel our suffering lasts way longer than it needs to because we're caught up in the system of the world. And that was another thing that was holding me back. It's people are okay, well, if you're gonna quit, then find another job. And I'm but I don't feel I'm supposed to find another job. I feel like I'm supposed to work for myself. And they're like, but how you gonna make money though? Like, how are you gonna make money? That's crazy. How are you gonna have benefits? And I remember talking to one of my good friends, and she hadn't been working for like over a year because she got diagnosed with breast cancer, and she's a survivor, so thank Jesus, thank God for that, right? And she has kids as well, and she was like, oh, from the day that I quit that job that I had, you know, and I got my diagnosis, God has provided. Like, I've gotten money, I've gotten food, I've gotten everything I need to this day. And it was like God was telling me from all these different people. I have another friend who also quit her job as well, and she was talking about the same thing, about how God was providing and God was doing this, and it was like just inspiration and just the budge that I needed to like let go of what I think is right. We think that all these things that the world says is the way that our life is supposed to be, but it's like, I'm not trying to be a people follower. I'm not trying to be of this world. I'm trying to follow God and Jesus. And that's gonna require me doing things that doesn't look like the world. So working for myself, right? You know, quitting my job without having another job. And I'm not telling someone out here like, oh, I have no money saved, let me like go quit your job, do it right now. I'm telling you to be obedient to God and whatever it is that he's calling you to do. That might not be to quit. Sometimes he wants us to stay somewhere, right? So we can learn the lesson, but sometimes he wants us to let go. So this is gonna be unique to you depending on what it is God is calling you to do. But you know deep down in your heart what it is you're supposed to be doing. And no job is worth your life. I'm telling you, no job is worth your life. I had to choose between my life or this job. And listen, my life is worth way more than a job that does not, and my value doesn't come from a job, right? That was another thing. I was putting my identity in my job. I noticed that like a lot of times we go out here and we're like, oh, well, what do you do? And you lead with what you do as if that's who you are. Now, when someone asks me, what do I do for a living? I'm gonna say I'm a follower of Christ, because I am tired of defining myself based on the things that I do, right? I think we are so much more than our jobs. We're so much more than that. God is calling us to more than that. And I think, you know, it's been really hard, I'm not gonna lie, for me to even answer the call, because there's imposter syndrome, there's me being scared. I still be like, whoa, but these bills, like, what we going to do? And so let me just tell you that God's been providing for me in so many ways. And I'm so grateful. And you know, now I am working for myself. I'm gonna go full throttle with this channel. I am gonna go full throttle with coaching. You know, I'm gonna go full throttle with singing and acting, the things that I know. And that's the thing, I'm also gonna ask God, am I doing the right thing? And if he tells me this is not right, I'm gonna do whatever it is that he leads me to do. I want to live my life, and I don't want to die for my job. It's not worth it. And can I just tell y'all, since I quit my job, everybody's been telling me, yo, you look younger. Bruh, how many years did this job take off? I even remember looking at myself in the mirror and being like, wow, I look different. My fiance is like, babe, you look so young, what the hell? Like, and that's how I knew, like, holding on to this job was killing my soul and taking life from me. Like, life? Are you kidding me? And I refuse to let anything take away life, you know? God came to give you life, right? So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really wanted to talk about this because I just feel like in today's society, we hold on to these values that were created by man, but we don't hold on to the values that were created by God. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with working hard. I think there's a problem with thinking that our whole lives is supposed to be killing ourselves and overworking ourselves in situations where we're not even being valued. I do not believe in that. I think you will die if you live in that way. So I hope this video helped you in some way. If you quit your job recently, or if you're thinking about quitting your job, or if you're just thinking about maybe starting your own business, or following a different dream or whatever it is, because it doesn't matter if you're staying in your job but you just want to follow something else. There's nothing wrong, like I said, with having a 9 to 5. But whatever it is, whatever your experience is, please leave a comment below. I would love to see what you have to say and how you feel about this. I'll try to give an update a little later about how everything is going. If you like this video, please be sure to click the subscribe button and share and all that jazz. Thank you for watching. Bye, guys.